Welcome to the IGF's fourth London edition of the Culture and Creativity Forum. In this post-FTA world, the Culture and Creativity Forum is going to explore how cultural exchange is more than just art or soft power. It's a superpower. It's a driving force of innovation and identity, shaping society, enriching our lived experience of the world. Now, from world-famous performers to cutting-edge cultural innovators, this forum is going to highlight how creatives in the UK-India corridor are playing a key role in redefining nations, influencing communities, and showcasing these two democracies as true creative powerhouses. Now, let's get into our first conversation. Game on, leveling up India's content. We're about to unveil a game-changing project. Let's get a sneak preview.
Bharat, the land of ancient India. A blessed land of noble heroes and glittering cities. But where heroes rule, villains will attack. Where wealth is plentiful, plunderers will pillage. The time has come to fight these invaders. The time has come to fight these monsters. The time has come to fight the demons. The time has come to fight those who oppress the forest tribes. The time has come to declare war. It's time for you to join the army of heroes. Fight the monsters! Stand with your people! Play the Age of Bhaarat! Protect the weak! Punish the wicked! Bharat Mata ki Jai!
Let's give that a round of applause. Wow. Amish Tripathi, you know who he is. Nicolas, Granatino, Chief Executive of Tara Gaming, StemAI. Gentlemen, come and join me on stage. Wow. I mean, if that was a film, which it's gonna be one day, I'm watching it. I'm watching it. Who wants to play the game? Put your hand up. I mean, it gives you a buzz, doesn't it? You want to play the game. Tell us about it, Amish. And Nicolas, great to see you as well. What is the Age of Bhaarat? Why is it a game changer for Indian content? You're all good? Yeah.
Among the things that many people don't know is that gaming is bigger than movies, books, music, theater combined.
Yeah.
Okay, many of us think that gaming is a subculture. Actually, gaming is the culture all of us are the subculture. Right? And most of our kids are actually all playing video games. And at the top end of the gaming world is what are called AAA games, right? High end, fantastic production,
big budget,
top end, big budget, bigger than Hollywood movies, and so Assassin's Creed or various other games like that. And that's what all your kids are playing, and the youngsters out here, well, they are playing it already. So we've never had a AAA game on an Indian subject ever.
Why is that?
We were waiting for Nicolas actually.
Yeah.
So and a Chinese game just came out around 2 years back, a year and a half back, a year back, called Black Myth Wukong, and it did how much in a month?
It did 450 million sales in 3 days, 3 billion.
What?
It is.
So the market is enormous
massive
if you get the right product.
And if China can do it, why can't we?
Nicolas,
Nicolas.
Is this the game changer? Does this propel India onto the global gaming map? Give us a sense of how untapped India is as a global gaming hub.
And culture goes hand in hand with economic and trade power. And the storytelling in India, for most of the first, 2,000 years of this era has been phenomenal. And it's been phenomenal because actually India was a powerhouse when it comes to trading, and economically, and people were traveling and telling, these stories. But, there was a period of time where, India was not exporting this power, mainly under colonial rule, and I think now is the time for India to come back out, with the stories that have been told and are known in the East, but are not so known in the West. And I think it's a gift for me for us to India, to the West. I mean, to actually give these fantastically rich stories and deep philosophical learnings and characters, that are, in the Itihasa. And the reason we chose gaming, as Amish said, is gaming is also, the preeminent, kind of medium, to go and tell that, across the world, and particularly, the young. And I think, Prime Minister Modi understands that, very well. He understood that gaming, is actually the way, to project, the culture and the richness of the culture, at the same time as India was, kind of rising to being the fourth, largest economy in the world, and soon the third largest economy in the world. And before you look at, countries like, South Korea and Japan, they've used gaming to do that. Of course, the US has done it, and, China last year, and now it's time for India to do the same thing.
How much fun, Amish, was it writing this story? You wrote the story. I mean, traditionally, much of global mythology in mainstream gaming, it's the Greek myths, it's the Norse myths. How do you think the Age of Bhaarat shifts the narrative gravity when it comes to gaming?
So actually, as a storyteller, there are two primary challenges in writing for a game and on a subject such as this. Firstly, if you're an author or anyone in the traditional media, author, movie maker, anything, it is linear storytelling, and you as the author or director get to decide how the viewers or readers will travel the journey. You say this is the path, this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end, and they don't have a choice. They just have to follow that, right? But in a game, how it works, and that's a serious mind shift actually. I got a very good briefing by Noordin, who's our main gaming producer. He's a Ubisoft veteran.
Yeah.
He says, you don't decide how the player will traverse this world, actually. So you can't tell him this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. You just have to create the world, then the player decides, okay, which path he's going to take. So you have to make sure everything is consistent within there, and it has to be interesting regardless of the path he takes, right? So actually it's far more complicated, but that makes it much more fun, right? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
The second thing, unlike games based on, say, Greek traditions or Scandinavian traditions or ancient Egyptian traditions, no one worships those gods anymore, right? No Greek worships Zeus, very few Greeks, or no Egyptian worships Amun-Ra. But India is the only pre-Bronze Age culture that is still alive. We still worship our gods and goddesses. So therefore, you have to take those sensitivities into mind as well, right? When you create something like this. But the motivation couldn't be higher because my son, Neil, he's 16 years old.
Yeah.
He reads my books. His friends also read my books. But authors aren't considered cool, frankly.
They're not.
But when I told him I'm designing a game, suddenly, like, I'm cool in his eyes, right? Like,
Yeah.
Dad, you're designing
Gaming
a game.
did it. But,
Yeah.
selling 7 million books didn't do it.
No, didn't do it. I'll tell you what did
Writing
it.
a game.
I'll tell you what did it. I don't know if there are any gamers here. You would have heard of this guy called Asmon Gold. He's an American reviewer. You guys, I had no clue who he was, okay? Why should I know, man? I don't know anything about gaming.
Yeah.
So Nicolas messages me. I received this message at some 4:35 in the morning. I'm an early riser. And he says, dude, Asmon Gold reviewed our trailer. And I'm like, who the F is Asmon Gold? And I forwarded it to my son. Of course, he knew who he was. He was like, Dad,
oh my God,
Asmon Gold reviewed you. You've arrived. Like,
You're
okay.
cool. You're cool. Nicolas, the ambitions, clearly you've got big ambitions, not just for the game, but is it right you're going to expand into films, TV, merchandise? I mean, how big could this be? Sounds like this is just the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, the ambition are. Of course, there's big commercial ambition, and people are starting to realize that Last of Us started as a game and then became a TV series. Same for Uncharted. We just had Minecraft as a movie after Minecraft the game, which have been widely successful. But the ambition is not only commercial. There's a deep belief I have in what I do is that actually the talent is evenly distributed in the world. And what is not actually is skill and capital. And to come back to your question, why is it that actually India didn't have a AAA game like China now has for a year? Is basically the skill of doing these very big production, high quality is mainly something that is in the West, and it is also our ambition to actually kind of bring that skill set, into India, and which is why from the very beginning we wanted to work with, iconic talent, like Amish, but also Amitabh Bachchan, to actually also draw that talent, to the project. And we also have a studio in Pune, and it is my ambition actually, to go from 30 people in Pune to 100 people, 12 months from now, because India needs to fully take ownership of its storytelling and the means, whether it's AAA gaming or anything, going forward, the same way China has done it. But China has done it in 10 years, and I think we can be a catalyst, with Tara Gaming, and to do that, maybe in more like 4 years. And that's, a big plus,
What more would you like the government to do? I mean, Prime Minister Modi is obviously doing a lot. He's supporting this, making gaming big. What more would you like to hear from the government to help the industry, help India take ownership, to use your words, take ownership of this?
Well, I think, it's, and it's the same in Europe. I think, Prime Minister Modi and even the High Commissioner here totally understand, what this is about. Actually, last year, 15th of August, commemoration speech of India's independence, actually Modi, comes out and says, we have to actually kind of build our gaming industry, leveraging our stories, leveraging our culture. He's right on point. He often is when it comes, to culture. And I think so. For me, Modi, the government, have done, already a lot, for this project. But it's for, it's for the entertainment industry. It's for some of the investors in India to come and take also ownership, of this project. We're transient as Tara Gaming. This company will be an Indian, fully. Indian company, both in terms of talent, but in terms of capital, going forward, and that's just what we are here for.
You keep mentioning AAA blockbuster. I get it, but I get what it costs to make the latest Avengers film, the latest Mission Impossible. What does it cost to? I mean, you don't have to give us exact figures, but give us a sense of the cost to make a blockbuster like the Age of Bhaarat, a big AAA film, a AAA game. Yeah.
So. I think it's, the thing that has changed, which is a positive and which allows us, to take on, that broad, vision edge challenge, is you basically have now a game engine, by, a company called Epic, called Unreal Engine, Before, when you took on a project like that, you needed to build the game engine and then build the game. Now you only need to build, the game. In terms of budget, that means that's considerably, reduce the budget you need, to do something like that. And the talent, in India, and the cost of the talent in India is also, much lower, and we're actually kind of, developing that talent. So I think, it'll be, probably around, $70 million to actually, go from, for the whole production of the game.
Right.
And we're somewhat in, on that already.
And if, I would like to add one thing as well, considering the audience, considering the location.
Yes.
This is actually, in effect, an Indo-UK project. Tara Gaming is based in London.
Yes. And you're all co-founders.
Yeah, we're all co-founders.
Yes.
Amitabh Bachchan ji,
Yeah.
Nicolas, we're all co-founders.
How did you get him on board?
He immediately said, yes, let's
It was
talk
easy,
about it.
was it?
It was easy.
Yeah.
And then we went and met him, and he's such a gracious,
a gracious
man. He came on board immediately, and the deal got closed very quickly, actually.
I know, it was easier than with you, actually.
And yeah, and he came on board, and
I mean, it helps with,
yeah.
Obviously, it helps with the profile as well, which is wonderful.
It's an honor.
Yeah, who's a gamer here? Stick your hand up. Who's a gamer? Like who's a yeah? Come on, be brave. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Who's a gamer? Give us a sense, Nicolas, of this game, what it's about, because I looked at it. You play as a forest warden. There's mystical weapons. You have arcane powers. You have to master the grappling hook system. You explore these amazing environments, which are inspired by timeless Indian sagas. You can customize your character. Give us a sense of the game itself. What differentiates it? Why is it so wonderful?
So I think the reason it's so wonderful, it's first of all, it's novel. This not only the Hollywood to start, but also gaming. As Amish said, I've done a lot with Norse mythology, Greek mythology, but nothing has been done, with Indian myth and epic, and that's just because of of history. So the novelty of that story is what is differentiating. The other thing is, and I could see also, and we see it in terms of the talent we attract. Most of the talent in India has been playing foreign myth. They want to play, the myth, and it's true also of the Indian diaspora. They want to play the myth they grew up, with. And in itself, that is a novelty. In terms of what the game is about, it's an action adventure game. So it's the greatest genre in gaming. But the adventure part is important. You could see already from the trailer all these various backdrop, etc. We want people to be drawn into this, and the interactivity of the medium means that as Amish said, people go and travel themselves. They make their choice. And when you make your choice, you're much more immersed and you remember. There's a story of one of our investors, who actually argues a lot with his wife because their teenage son, actually doesn't, plays too much gaming.
Yeah.
And then they travel to Paris. And the kid knows all the monuments. And the mom says, why do you know all the monuments? I say, because of gaming. That's where I learned. And so we have the opportunity with Assassin's Creed, and we have the opportunity with this game, to retell the story, where the kids are, where the kids and the young people like to be, and that's a phenomenal opportunity that must not be missed and must be done very quickly.
I'll just add some more things, and the gamers will understand this. It's going to be co-op. So, and you would have seen that in the trailer already. So you don't just play as an individual. You can have a friend join as well. At this point of time, it looks like it may be only 2 co-op. I don't know if he'll make it multiple, but even that is quite good. And that is complicated to put together.
Yeah.
So that's one aspect. The second aspect, the quality of the gameplay. What you saw was just pre-alpha. Okay.
So it's going to be levels.
So I'll tell you the quality of thinking that goes in, and that's why it's a pleasure working. So they're not just going to use the gaming engine and use swordplay, because we know that will not work, right? Because much of the gaming engine stuff is actually built on the older games. So we're actually getting a Kalaripayattu team together, various other Indian martial arts teams together. There'll be a studio in Hyderabad. We're going to use motion capture, and we're going to get them to actually sword fight. That is what will go into the game. So it'll be the kind of stuff you have never seen.
Yeah.
The quality of thinking that's going in. It's never been done for Indian stuff before.
It's exciting. Amish, we've got 40 seconds. Final question. Banker, tick. Diplomat, tick. Author, tick. Broadcaster, tick. And now gamer. Is there no stopping you?
Yeah, the only thing I haven't made it to is becoming a host at IGF. Maybe that's what I need to do.
I need this gig. You can't take this gig from me. You've got all the other gigs. As you say, you weren't necessarily a gamer. You're suddenly cool in your family. Has the transition been a fun one?
Oh, it's damn cool. Like I said, my son kind of shares his gaming thoughts with me.
Yeah.
I actually showed him the trailer, and both he and his friends were giving me feedback on things that I need to do, which I discussed with Noordin. And Noordin was impressed. How come you are getting all these insightful gaming stuff? Yeah, it's great fun.
Big round of applause. And good luck to them.